the bankers created this crisis and ordinary people have to pay for it. I mean, this is the thin end of the wedge. It's pensions today, it'll be hospital closures, old people's home closures tomorrow. I mean, already we've seen cuts in EMA, which basically shutting the door for ordinary people, you know, if they want to better themselves or get further education. And I think it's really good today. A lot of people have come out on strike, and you know, we're following from what ordinary Greek people are saying. We're saying we're not prepared to pay for your prices, and you know, now we're going to start fighting back, and this is fantastic.
Today I think it should be important for everyone really, because for one, show solidarity to all striking workers that are out of work today, that are protesting against what is being done to their livelihoods. It's not just taking away from their basic work, but their pension, it's their future for when they're old, and that's going to affect all of us. And I mean, I'm a student and I've seen opportunities taken away from me in the last couple of years. I mean, the university I'm at, it looks like it's going to close, and the most upsetting thing for that has been watching these lecturers that I've grown to love having everything taken away from them, and seeing younger people than me, like my nieces and stuff, that probably won't have the chances that I've had, or people before me, and no one should have to suffer that, no one.
Well, I'm here as I'm the secretary for the NUT, so I just at the office. So I'm here helping support all the teachers. Here, my mum's a teacher, my whole family are teachers, and all the people who basically are having the cuts of pensions. And I'm just totally against it, and I'm here just supporting.
Stopping the tax on pensions, stopping the tax on public services, stopping the cuts, giving our solidarity to all those who are facing big cuts in their standard of living.
I'm here because I think it's wrong that ordinary people's pensions are being cut. We've got fat cat bankers retiring at 55, whilst care home workers have to retire at 68. School teachers teaching our kids at 68. You know, this can't be a way to run our well better. And I just think, you know, there's so much money being made by the top bosses. We should be taxing them to pay for decent public services. I was on a picket line this morning. I met a care home worker. Looks after our elderly in their homes. She's losing a third of her pay. 80 days pay this year she's going to be losing with the new council contract. How can it be right someone on 14 grand a year is losing up to a third of their pay?
Well, I'm here because I'm a member of the National Union of Teachers and I oppose the attack on pensions. But I'm also here campaigning for Stop the War Coalition because I think that billions are being wasted in these wars. The government intends to save $2 billion by this $2 billion pension reform, but it costs $4.5 billion every year to finance their war in Afghanistan. And the Libyan adventure will probably cost hundreds of millions, you know. So if they should be stopping spending that sort of money on those foreign wars and financing teachers' pensions, adult social care, schools and hospitals. So I'm against the whole policies of the government, not just particular this particular reform.
Well, social workers, teachers are being sacked, health workers, 1,600 being cut from East Birmingham Hospital, fire brigade workers, across public services, people are having their jobs cut.
A lot of cuts have been imposed on us just without, you know, supposedly negotiations, but I think we have to put extra pressure on because already there have been things imposed like the increase in pensions are being aligned to the CPI instead of the retail price, which means there's lower increases. So for people who've retired like me, we're affected straight away. Extra contributions each month, having to work longer till we're 66, you know, all those things just crucial to, you know, we've worked hard, we've paid a long way for our pensions. And it's not just for us, you know, I think it's also a test of the strength of the unions. I think all unions should strike together and each, you know, group in the workforce should take their own action and show that we are strong and that we can, you know, make a difference and we can fight all these unfair cuts that are being made by this government.
A lot of ordinary people, more people are opposed to the cuts than are for them. And actually, there's an opinion poll by Comrades this week that showed that something like 48% of the public support today's strike action by public sector workers. That's because they know what it's about. They know it's about cuts to everything that's going on. What ordinary members of the public can do is quite simple. When there's a picket line, they can go down there. They can join an anti-cuts group like Birmingham Against the Cuts and get involved that way in stopping the cuts to our nurseries, to our schools, to our hospitals, and joining the activity and campaigning to keep our public services public and open for everyone.
Well, they are blaming the people who didn't cause the crisis in the first place. It was their friends, the bankers, that caused the crisis. Everybody knows that. The fat cats, the speculators, they got the money. So instead of robbing them, they're going for the public services instead.
Standing up for the rights of disabled people or mental health issues, people in dire need, people who suffer from domestic abuse. Basic things like that have been cut so terribly, and that's something that it's the most basic thing. You know, you look after people in distress, and they're just saying no. we don't care about that. It's just not right.
I think what it does is it sends a really powerful message to the government, and also, we have to get people out on strike to say no, we're not going to take this. Just like they had people out in Greece, just like they had people out in Egypt and Tunisia. We should be following them. We don't have to put up with it. The cabinet is full of a few rich millionaires. There's masses of ordinary people in this country suffering because of the condemned cuts. And I think bringing those majority of people together, like on days like this, can really build a movement that can stop the government attacking us.
Well, I think this has to be a precursor to further action. I mean, ultimately, I think this government we can get rid of it, we can topple it, and if we have more days like today, like a general strike across the country, I think we can. They might put the question to the public again: who runs the country, the unions or the government? And I think people will give them a clear answer: who should run the country, and that's us.